Yes, hello everyone. This is D. Chinnagokari. Welcome to our chemistry channel. So, in this video lecture, I am going to explain about solutions. So, in previous lectures, I have explained about introduction of solutions and methods of expressing concentration. I covered all the methods of expressing concentration. And in this lecture, I am going to explain about one more important concept, that is solubility. So, first of all, solubility. For example, when you add some amount of sugar or salt, NaCl, salt, in water, H2O, the salt dissolve in it. So that is called nothing but soluble. Salt is soluble in the water, and when you are adding the more amount, up to certain amount only the salt is dissolves, then after the salt is not going to be dissolved. That is called what? Saturated solution. Saturated solution, we already know saturated solution means no more solute is dissolved in the solution. No more solute is dissolved. No more solute is dissolved in solution. That is called what? Saturated solution. So here solubility is nothing but the amount of solute dissolved in, the amount of solute dissolved, the amount of solute dissolved in 100 grams of saturated solution, saturated solution at a constant temperature, that is called what? Solubility. Here solubility indicated with capital S. Solubility is equal to weight of solute by weight of solvent into 100. That is called what? Solubility. So here we will discuss different type of substances soluble in a water or liquid. So here first we will discuss about solubility of solid in liquid. Solubility of solid in liquid. So here solubility of solid in liquid means it is the liquid type of solution. It is liquid type of solution. Here solid is solute, liquid is solvent. So we already know solute is the minor quantity or which is present in less quantity. Solvent is the major quantity or more quantity. It is the. So now let us discuss solubility of solid in liquid. So here what are the factors affect the solubility of solid in liquid? The first factor we can say nature of solute and solvent. Nature of solute and solvent. So here nature of solute and solvent. Here for example let us see, when you take the sodium chloride NaCl and sugar, when you take the sodium chloride and sugar, they are soluble in H2O, but they are not going to soluble in insoluble or not soluble or insoluble in kerosene. And when you take the naphthalene and camphor, they are soluble in kerosene, insoluble in H2O. So means all solids are not going to soluble in all liquids, and we can say generally there is a one general statement, that is like dissolves like, which means is there any same interactions between if solute and solvent have same interactions. If solute solvent interactions are same, the solute is going to dissolve in the solvent. Say for example here polar solutes, here our solute is solid, polar solid dissolve in H2O, dissolve in H2O. So here what is a polar solute? Means having charge separations. For example, NaCl is there. NaCl is dissociates into Na plus Cl minus. So here NaCl converted into Na plus and Cl minus, like if dissociates into ions, it is dissolved in the water. And some polar substances, all polar substances dissolve in the water, but non-polar substances dissolve in the non-polar solutes. Non-polar solutes dissolve in non-polar solvents, like C6H6 benzene, CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, CS2 carbon disulfide, etc. These are the examples of non-polar solvents. Here for polar solvents, example H2O and SO2. SO2 is also one of the example of polar solvent, etc. Like this is the nature of solute and solvent. So here some non-polar solutes also dissolve in the water. Why? Because water is having one dielectric constant. It can break that substance into ions and it can dissolve in it. Right. This is about nature of solute and nature of solvent. Next, another property, another factor, that is temperature, effect of temperature, nature of solute and solvent. And next factor, that is effect on the solubility, that is temperature. So here generally temperature increases, solubility is also increases. Generally temperature increases, solubility is also increases. For example, KCl, MgCl2, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, and KNO3, potassium nitrate. So for all these solutes, temperature increases, solubility is also increases. Here when you draw a graph between temperature and solubility, so here temperature increases, solubility is also increases likewise. Okay, for example, KCl, MgCl2, KNO3. Likewise, temperature increases, solubility is also increases. So in this case, delta H is greater than 0. It is the endothermic process. Endothermic process means they are going to absorb the energy. See here, we can write solute plus solvent solute plus solvent plus heat means they are going to absorb heat energy and forms the solution. Means when you are applying the Le-Chatelier principle, heat is increased. When according to Le-Chatelier principle, heat is increased, solubility is also increases, and more amount of solute dissolve in the solution. And some type of solvent solutes are there, some type of solutes, some solid solutes are there, like another second category here. So this is the first category, and second category, temperature increases, solubility is decreases. In this case, delta H is less than 0. This is exothermic process. Exothermic process means when you dissolve the solute, in the solution, for example, cerium sulfate, Ce3SO4 taken twice, Ce2SO4 taken thrice, 9H2O. So when you add this cerium sulfate in the water, the temperature of water is increases. That's why, because it is an exothermic process. And like same calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice, same like calcium hydroxide also. When you add this calcium hydroxide to the water, the temperature of water is increases. So that process are called what? Exothermic process. Here delta H is less than 0, means this system is going to lose energy. In that cases, what happens? Temperature increases, solubility decreases. Temperature increases, solubility decreases. For example, calcium hydroxide and cerium sulfate, Ce3SO4 taken twice, 9H2O. For these two substances, what is happening here? Temperature increases, solubility decreases. And third case is also there, case 3 also is. Temperature increases, solubility not changes or slightly changes, very slightly changes. For example, NaCl, for example, NaCl only. When you add NaCl to the water, and also here delta H equal to 0, means neither heat is absorbed, heat is released. Delta H is 0, the energy of the system is not going to change. So here in that cases, what is happening? Temperature increases, solubility also not changes, solubility remains constant. Likewise, for example, you can take NaCl, sodium chloride, and lithium carbonate, Li2CO3. Like these substances, when you increase the temperature also, the solubility very slightly negligibly increases. That's why we can consider temperature increases, solubility is also not changes. So here solute plus solvent solution. So means there is no question of heat. They are not absorbing heat energy, not releasing heat energy. So even though you are increase or decrease the temperature, solubility does not changes. Next here in exothermic process, what is happening here? In exothermic process, solute plus solvent is gives rise to solution plus heat. Means they are releasing the heat energy. Again, if you supply the heat energy here, what happens according to Le-Chatelier principle? The reaction come backward. This is about effect of temperature over the solubility of solids in liquids. So temperature has three conditions. Generally in many cases it follows: temperature increases, solubility is also increases. Here delta H is greater than 0, means endothermic process. Here solute plus solvent plus heat energy, it gives solution. By absorbing the heat energy, the solute is dissolving in the solvent, means temperature increases, solubility is also increases. According to Le-Chatelier principle, here when you increase this temperature, the solution, more amount of solution here you can get, means more amount of solute is going to dissolve in the solvent. Next, second case, temperature increases, solubility is decreases. In that case, delta H is less than 0, means the system is only going to give energy out. So in that case, solute plus solvent is gives rise to solution plus heat energy. The system is only going to give heat energy. Again you supply the heat energy from the external source, the solubility is decreases. What are that examples here? That is calcium hydroxide and cerium sulfate. And third condition also is there. What is third condition? Here temperature increases, solubility not changes, that is delta H equal to 0. Here solute plus solvent is gives rise to solution. There is no question of heat energy. Neither heat energy is absorbed nor heat energy released. So even though if we change or increase or decrease the temperature, solubility does not changes. And next, another factor, that is pressure. So here pressure has no effect. Pressure has no effect. Pressure has no effect on the solubility. Why? Because solids and liquids are incompressible. We cannot compress the, means we cannot reduce the size of solid or liquid by applying the pressure. That's why there is no effect of pressure over the solubility of solid in liquid. Next, let us discuss about the solubility of gas in liquid. So here gas, solute is gas, solvent is liquid. So here also several factors are there. So they are, the first one is nature of solute and nature of solute and solvent. Nature of solute and solvent. So here CO2, NH3, HCl, NH4Cl, like these gases dissolve more, and whereas O2, N2, helium are dissolve less. Why they dissolve more? Why they dissolve less here? Why? Because this CO2 is easily, CO2 and NH3 are easily liquefiable. we can easily convert into liquefiable. They are easily liquefiable, and these HCl and NH4Cl, they can form as H plus and Cl minus. Here it is also NH4 plus Cl minus. Like that, they are form ions and they are easily liquefiable gases. Hence, they are easily dissolved in the water. And whereas O2, N2, helium, they are not going to dissolve, or they are going to dissolve in less quantity. So that is the nature of solute and solvent. Next, second factor, that is effect of temperature. So here generally, in the case of solids, temperature increases, solubility generally increases. But in the case of liquids, gas in liquids, in the case of gas in liquid, temperature increases, solubility decreases. Why? Because generally we can observe that. So here we already know some of the gas is dissolved in a water. Because of that only some aquatic life is, like aquatic animals, aquatic plants are surviving because of the dissolved O2 or undissolved carbon dioxide gas is present here. When you heat this water, what is happening? We can observe releasing of some gases. So means when you are supplying the heat energy, means the temperature is increasing, the dissolved gas is expelling outside. Okay, this is the effect of temperature. Temperature increases, solubility of gas is decreases. Next, third factor, that is effect of pressure. So here pressure increases. For example, let us take some diagrams here, we can understand very clearly. So here pressure is nothing but force per unit area. Pressure is equal to force by area. Force is equal to mass into acceleration to the unit area, that is called what? Pressure. So here weight increases, mass increases, pressure is also increases. So here let us consider, here it is W1 weight, here it is W1, it is also W1, it is also W1. 3 weights we are keeping here, and let us see what is the solubility. So here generally weight increases, pressure is also increases. That's why the number of gas molecules are also increase in the solution. The number of gas molecules are also increase in the solution. Number of, let us consider these black dots as the gas molecules. So here pressure increases, the number of gas molecules are also increases. So here pressure is, if you are putting more weight, means we are applying more pressure. So here pressure increases, solubility is also increases. So here we have one equation or one law, that is called Henry's law. Henry's law gives a quantitative relationship between the solubility of gas in the liquid and the pressure. Okay, so here solubility of gas is directly proportional to pressure of the gas. Here solubility increases, here pressure increases, solubility is also increases. Pressure increases, solubility is also increases. To remove this proportionality, here we are going to keep a constant, that is called Henry's constant. So here S is the solubility, P is the pressure of gas and kh is the Henry's constant. So here now kh is the solubility by pressure. Here solubility general units are moles per liter, pressure units are atmosphere inverse or bar inverse. So here what are the units of Henry's constant? That is moles per liter, atmosphere inverse. Okay, so this is about effect of pressure. So pressure increases, solubility is also increases. So here we are keeping different weights, means pressure is increased. If pressure increases, more amount of gas molecules are entering into the water, hence solubility is also increased. So the first time the quantitative relationship was given by the scientist Henry, he said that he gave a relation, solubility is directly proportional to pressure. So to remove this proportionality, here we are going to keep a constant, that is kh. So solubility is equal to kh into P. So here kh is the Henry's constant. So Henry constant kh is depends on temperature, type of gas and units of pressure. So means it is not a universal constant, it is a constant for a particular gas only at constant temperature and units of pressure. Okay, this is about Henry's law. And here we have Dalton's law also. Dalton is the contemporary of Henry, and he said that the partial pressure of gas is directly proportional to the mole fraction. So according to Dalton's law, partial pressure. So for example, when you take a mixture of volatile substances or volatile liquids, so for example here liquid is also, let us consider it as a volatile. Here liquid is also going to be evaporate, is converted into gas molecules, and already here some gas is present inside the solution, and it is also some gas particles are also present over here. So here let us consider it is XB, black spots are XB, and it is the XA mole fraction, or it is we consider it as a B, and let us consider, okay, it has a B and it has A. So here the total pressure, this is the total pressure, this is the P total is equal to partial pressure of A plus partial pressure of B. Here the solubility of gas in the liquid is directly proportional to its partial. Here partial pressure of B is directly proportional to mole fraction of B. So here partial pressure of B is equal to kh into mole fraction of B. Okay, so here this is also just like Henry's law, but here instead of solubility, there we are going to consider mole fraction. So here partial pressure of B is directly equal to, partial pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of B. Here mole fraction of, so to remove this proportionality, here we are going to keep a constant, that is Henry's constant. So partial pressure of B is equal to Henry's constant into mole fraction of B. So here partial pressure of B by XB, that is equal to mole fraction of B is equal to kh. We already know mole fraction does not have any units, but partial pressure are having units. So here units of kh, Henry's constant, are atmosphere or bar, whatever the units here you can take. So this is about effect of pressure over the solubility of gas in liquid. So what are the factors affect the solubility of gas in liquid? First one, nature of solute and nature of solvent. So here easily liquefiable gases CO2 and NH3 are dissolve more HCl NH4Cl. They are forms ions so that they react with water and they react with water and they dissolve more. So here carbon dioxide also react with water, carbonic acid, ammonium hydroxide it forms, and HCl dissolve, NH4Cl forms ions. But whereas O2, N2, helium gas are not going to, they also dissolve, but they dissolve in very less quantity. Likewise, SO2 also dissolve more, SO3 also dissolve more, and NO2 also dissolve more. Why? Because they are also going to form sulfuric acid, sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid, which means which are going to react with water. They are going to dissolve in more quantity, and which are going to form ions also. They are also going to dissolve in more quantity, and which are not going to react with water. They dissolve in the less quantity. Next, effect of temperature. Temperature increases, solubility decreases. In simply, when you heat the solution, the gas is expelled out. That's why temperature increases, solubility decreases. Next, effect of pressure. Pressure means force per area. Force means mass into acceleration. Simply, when you increase the mass, pressure increases. So pressure increases means solubility is also increases. So Henry gave a quantitative relationship, that is solubility is directly proportional to pressure. So here solubility equal to Kh into P. So to remove this proportionality, here we are going to keep a constant Kh. So here Kh is the Henry's constant, and units of Kh are S by P, solubility by pressure. Solubility general units are moles per liter, and pressure units are atmosphere. Here Kh is not a constant, it depends on the, means it is not a universal value, constant only, but it is not a universal. So it depends on the temperature, type of gas, units of pressure. Next, Dalton's law. So instead of solubility, here we are going to use mole fraction. So here, what is the mole fraction means? It is one of the method of expressing concentration. You have any doubt, you can check my previous videos. Okay. So partial pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. So here partial pressure equal to Kh into B. Here Kh is again Henry's constant. Here units of Kh are atmosphere or bar. How we can get pressure by Xb? Here Xb is nothing but mole fraction of B. Mole fraction does not have units. Here mole fraction does not have units. Pressure have units. What are the pressure of units? Atmosphere or bar. So this is about solubility. In the next videos, I am going to explain about lowering of vapor pressure, relative lowering of vapor pressure, and Raoult's law. So if you like this video, press your like button. Thank you for listening.